So how can you make your own bacon at home? Well, I've never done it before. So hopefully you're going to be watching this video because you're in the same situation as me. I have done research and I believe that there are many ways that this can be done successfully. However, the process that I'm going to go through is I'm going to be using some curing salts on a pork belly. So I've had these for a while now, but I've never got round to actually smoking any pork belly or salmon for that matter. But I have been doing cold smoking, so the process is going to be similar. I'll be using this cold smoke generator. This one's actually by ProQ, and I bought that last year, and it's fantastic. I've done smoked cheese, I've done smoked nuts, I've done smoked garlic. I'm going to be doing some butter this week, some more cheese, and it is a really good way to enhance the flavour of various different foods. So you will need some curing salt, or you can make your own. There are many recipes. I'm not going to go into that in this video. You will need a cold smoke generator if you're going to be cold smoking. There's the option to hot smoke as well, and I might consider that. It depends how things go. So with the cold smoke generator, all you do is you get a little tea light, you put it under here. When it's lit, it will start burning at this end, and then it will work its way. It's almost like a little maze, and then that will give you sufficient amount of smoke time. You possibly also need, depending on your fridge and your smoker, some hooks to hook your meat and suspend it as it's smoking. And even if your fridge has space, you could use these as well, so that your meat could be suspended. Once it's been dry cured, once it's been cold smoked, then you can suspend it in the fridge for another couple of days just to dry everything out. Also, you're obviously going to need some pork belly. Now, I've only been able to grab some from my local supermarket, and it was their last one, so I wasn't spoilt for choice. But I did want to get on and get things going, because you do have to take into consideration that the pork itself has got to be cured in the fridge for nearly a week. And during that time, you'll see all of the liquid being drawn out of the meat, and that's what makes it basically cured. And you will also need a vacuum sealer, or you could use Ziploc bags. But because I was doing smoked cheese last year, I'd already invested in a vacuum sealer, so I'm going to be using that during this cook. So as mentioned, there are various different dusts on the market: hickory, apple, maple. I've got beech in this packet that I've not yet opened, and then inside the cold smoke generator already I've got beech. So that's what I'm going to be going with, unless I do decide to swap it out, which isn't too big of a deal. I'll just empty that into a container and then replenish it with something different. So let's get set up and we'll get cracking on curing this pork belly. So I've got my pork belly, and for one of these sachets, it will do 1 kilo of pork belly as the curing salts. So this is just under 1 kilo, so I'm comfortable with the fact that there's going to be ample curing salts in here to be able to draw out all of the moisture and successfully cure this bit of pork belly. Now, it's not ideal. Like I said, it was the last one in the shop. Did want to get on and cracking with making my own bacon, so this is going to be my first attempt, and obviously I'm looking to improve as I go forward. So although this cut is not particularly great, because it's not exactly a kilo and it's not particularly square, I will be removing the actual skin, because I think that will lend itself better, and especially with the taste and not having that thick rind on the outside. So there's my pork belly. I'll remove the skin, and also this is a vacuum sealer. So I'm not going to go into what brand I use. I purchased it on Amazon. It is more than adequate at doing the job very well. Basically, under this flap, I've got a roll of vacuum bag. I have to cut off the size that I want. I lift up the lid. I put the vacuum sealed bag in here. That seals one end. I then put the meat inside the bag. I then seal that end. But before it seals it, I'll probably just do a gentle or possibly a moist vacuum seal. I don't want it to suck everything out, because if you do that and there's moisture in the bag, then it will go into the actual machine itself, which is what I don't want. I have made that mistake in the past. I don't want to make it again. So the vacuum sealer, the pork, the cold smoke generator, we won't be needing that until it's been dry cured and put in the fridge. So I'm now going to remove the skin and then put the curing salt on, and I'll maybe do that as a time-lapse video. So that went pretty well. I removed the skin with only a few little bits of flesh remaining on the top, but overall I'm quite happy with that, and based on the videos, probably preference whether you leave this on or not. I've decided to take it off. Maybe in the comments let me know whether you would leave this on or remove it as well. But this piece of meat, as I mentioned, isn't an ideal shape, and for my first try it's not ideal, but I have to, you know, use what you got, don't you? So I'm now going to put the curing salt on it. And this particular one that I'm using is sage and thyme. So again, you can experiment with different things. I've seen people put cayenne pepper, various types of chili powder. So it really is up to you how you decide to cure it and what recipe you wish to use. There's 50 grams in this pack, which doesn't seem like much, but apparently it is sufficient for the purpose of this. And make sure I get everything out of here. Best before dates on these are quite generous as well. This is still saying I would have had till the 19th September 2025, so it's good to know that they are not going to go bad. So I'm going to tidy this up and I'll put it in the vacuum bag. So here is the vacuum sealer. So as mentioned, I've got a roll of vacuum seal bags in here, so I'm just going to pull a section to the required length. Probably bigger than I need, but I know that there's going to be a lot of moisture coming out, so I'm going to cut that there. It's got a little blade in there, so it makes that element nice and easy. Then all I have to do is just lift up the lid, put the bag inside, just on the edge. Obviously I'm not vacuum sealing it at this point. Click it down and then push the seal button. So it always does that vacuum for some reason, even though I'm only sealing the bag. So now, hopefully you can see that line across there. It's been thermally sealed. So that will be the bottom of my bag. I'm now going to put the pork belly inside the bag, and then I think I'm just going to go for a gentle seal, because a Ziploc bag would be equivalent of a gentle seal. So that's what I will do. The kit that I did get from ProQ does come with some bags, but they're not vacuum bags, so that's why I'm going to go for this instead. So I've got my pork belly inside the bag. Also, you will need a tray. I'm just going to use a disposable tray, because if this was to leak, I don't want it leaking inside my fridge. So I'm just going to seal the bag now. And then I'm going to do gentle. So I was quite fortunate there because it doesn't look like there's much moisture, but you can see the moisture come up through the bag, and I don't want that going into my machine, considering this is also raw pork. So just something to bear in mind. Make sure that the bags are always wiped down before you put them on your worktops, and give everything a nice clean down. Anyway, I'll now put this in the tray, and that will go in the fridge for at least 7 days. I will be checking on it every day, flipping it over, and then we'll have a second part to the video where it's then cold smoked. But so far, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe. It enables me to make more content. So have a great weekend, a great day, and I'll see you on the next part.